Hello, how you doing, Alex?
Doing good. Although, wait, can you hear me all right?
Yep, can you hear me?
Yeah, but just not from my headset.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hear me now?
Yep.
All right. Just gonna wait till a couple people pop in. As people pop in, drop a hello. Just so I know you guys can hear me. All right. Make sure everything's going good. Wednesday today. Okay, let's get that going. Let's get some music going. A little quieter. All right, that should be good. So as long as everyone pops in, just drop a hello so I know that you guys can hear me all right. Music's not too loud.
Been keeping busy?
Oh yeah, staying busy, of course. Got tons of projects going on right now, so tons of different things that I'm working on personally in the paranormal. And then stuff with the team as well. So we're staying busy. We're along with it. How about you, Alex? How are you doing?
Let's see. Yard work. Figuring out my.
Hey, your headset's acting up. I can't hear you. When it happened last time, the headset was on.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Yard work.
Yeah, I lost you again.
All right, hold
I heard
on.
yard work, and then yeah, it's better.
Yeah, that's trying to figure out my release back to work and trying to adjust my scheduling. Pajamas, laundry, and Dead by Daylight.
That's cool. So it seems like you're staying busy too.
Yeah, I'm doing what I can. Not a lot of energy lately.
So now we're starting to get some people popping in. As you guys pop in, just drop a hello to make sure you guys can hear us okay. And let me know if the music's too loud. Oh, I keep hitting. I don't know if this lighting's better or not. I think that's too bright. That's good, I guess. I like that blue background. Hey, Doug, how you been? So, Doug's been okay. That's good. We've been okay as well. Staying busy. Getting a lot of things done. In the paranormal and out of the paranormal. Steve says, hey guys, what's up, Steve? How you been? For anyone who doesn't know, Steve is my dad. Keeping everything going. Paracon coming up. Different stuff coming up. So hanging in there. Let me see if all right. So, a lot of famous haunted locations out there, Alex. Tons of things that have been seen on paranormal shows, all of that. What do you think out of some of the most like top famous haunted locations in America you think is somewhere that you would like to investigate? And like on your bucket list.
Can't remember the name of the place, but there's like I think it's down in Florida. There's like some old like they have like the site itself has reported locations, but they also tend to have they tend to report on a few items there being claimed of or having claimed of them being haunted.
Wow.
Doll, very very like old school, not like porcelain, some kind of like knitted doll with like a painted on like face and details.
Right.
They have like, the rules you have to follow. Like you're never just take a photograph with them. You have to like say hello and thank you and like ask if you can take. You have to ask if you have to take a photo with them. You can't just like take one. People report like going to visit this location and pay their respects to the doll. I think his name might have been like Artie or something like that. But people who would break those rules would report having hauntings or like activity following them home.
Following them home, okay.
Until they went back and like tried to make amends. Some people said that they had issues for like 2+ years before they realized that now like go back and like try to apologize.
Right, and try to like drop it back off almost and make things right. That seems like a pretty cool location. I personally, you talked about haunted objects and stuff there. I personally have always wanted to own haunted objects and have like a section or a case full of different haunted objects eventually. I think that'd be really cool. I think in my house, there'll be tons of different like haunted objects and different cool things like that. And kind of
to get my hands on a Dybbuk box.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Definitely gonna open it.
Yeah. Let me. Okay. Yeah, there's tons of locations that are on my bucket list to investigate. I can make a whole list of different places that are on my bucket list to investigate. I'll say the one that's probably like up there would be the Conjuring House. It's something I've always wanted to investigate. I'm interested in. I always watch other people go there and stuff and investigate it. It seems pretty cool. So that's one of the places. And then another.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You're good. Go ahead.
There's another place I can think of that I got really close to seeing, but the people I was with didn't out there a little bit too spooked with the idea of it. I think it's called down in South Georgia, like kind of around Savannah. But there's like a lot of weird stuff. Like one could be attributed to like paranormal, like haunting style ways.
Right.
Like some like physics are going on there, like gravity not working as it's supposed to, like cars rolling up and all that stuff.
Wow.
They say like, oh, it's the spirits of the soldiers from the Civil War pushing the car off the property.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And now, where'd you say? Where's that located?
I believe it's close to Savannah, Georgia.
Savannah, Georgia. Okay. That is pretty cool. Hey, Wayne wants us to check his house. Well, we can do that. We'll set up something. And do that. All right. We have to get the ticker going. A little shift. Moving on from that. Ghost hunting techniques and equipment. What are some equipment you think is essential when investigating the paranormal? What do you think, like, is something all paranormal investigators should have? Obviously, there's no wrong way to investigate. Everyone does it their own way. But what is something like your opinion, what is something that you think all paranormal investigators should have or should carry?
Definitely the frequency detector for like electromagnetic
EMF.
signals.
Yeah. Yep.
Is honestly, I think, well, obviously cameras, hands down. You need
Oh yeah.
recording
Handhelds for sure.
track of what you're collecting.
That's gonna be your best friend in the paranormal. You get a lot of stuff
I-
in that. You're not gonna get a lot firsthand, but you go back through evidence review, and those cameras, those are your best friends on investigations. Taking tons of pictures, different videos, all of that, and it's a good memories to look back on too, and be like, oh, I remember this one. This was a pretty cool investigation or something, So, and it can spark up some memories too, years down the road and stuff. So.
Apart from that, I would say the REM pod. Like my personal experience with it so far, like I enjoy it. I think there's more ways to use it than I have used it so far. You
Right.
can probably like set that up like with the camera on it and see if any lights go off, detecting like maybe like movement going through that area.
Right. Yeah, I agree with you, and because I've used it tons of different ways. I've used it to pick stuff up coming like upstairs or into certain rooms. There's times where I'd set like the digital K2 in this entrance, and then there's an entrance over here. I'll set like the REM pod up there, and so if anything comes in, and when we invite stuff in, and if something spikes on your side, that'd be pretty cool. So like we've used it in different ways, different techniques and stuff. Personally, yeah, handheld cameras. That's number one. You gotta have handheld cameras. And for some paranormal investigators, people just do it by themselves or something, or just like two of them, they go out and have fun and stuff. A major one that a lot of people, you want to bring in like the small equipment, the small handheld, maybe a bag to carry, like you said, a K2 meter. That's really important because a lot of paranormal activity and claims can be shot down with just the K2 meter. So I think that's definitely. Hey Heather. So I think that definitely is important to have. But trying to think what else. Maybe I wouldn't say it's essential, but something to have. I would say would be the spirit box for sure.
Yep.
Because you can get high interaction with that. Good intelligent spirit too, and you can get some good stuff through the spirit box or some device that can pick that up. But Ma, now that you're on here, what would you say is something essential in investigating? Obviously, everyone has their own ways of doing it, and it's not wrong. Just for you personally, what's your opinion on something that you think people need when investigating?
Kind of a hard question. I don't know. I would say maybe an audio recorder, because sometimes you catch things that you can't hear with your own ear on there.
Yes, that was another one that I forgot about too to mention. That's another thing that I say would be very important. And again, another one too is your eyes and ears and your head. Just use a little bit of what do you want to call it? Use a little bit of like logic. Like you don't want to pick up everything as paranormal. A big thing is going in and being able to have knowledge and being able to be able to shoot down stuff and say, oh well, that's not paranormal, or oh well.
Definitely being able to debunk stuff and not think every little thing is paranormal helps.
Yep. So that's another, I think, necessity in paranormal investigating. But yeah, you mentioned a good one, which was the audio recorder, and I forgot about that. That is definitely something, because going back on that, you can catch tons of different stuff that you don't catch with your ear or going through it live, or you're not, So being able to go back and listen to the audio recorder is real good, and that became a really big piece of our equipment too that we use on every investigation now. And something important that I still don't feel that we use enough, that we should, is the audio recorder. I think for sure. So if you guys want to chat a little more about that, I'm just going to turn my camera off real quick and mute myself as I plug in my computer. I forgot to do that before.
Well,
I'm here. I'm just trying to eat dinner because I just got home, so I don't have my camera on.
You're all good. I think another thing that'd be, something that'd be simple to get, because obviously a lot of this technology can be a little bit expensive and outside of the beginner's price. Everybody's got a cell phone, so everybody has a camera and an audio recorder right there. But it's really easy to pick up apps, like a Spirit Box app, SLS camera app. Granted, you want to make sure you're getting the right one, so make sure they're vetted by the paranormal community. But also, if you're willing to, Ouija boards are really easy to get. You can go to Spencer's and get ones for a couple, like a $20 bill or something like that. But I know some people won't be willing to do that. But everyone does have the cell phone and the audio recording capability on their phone. So yeah, you can peek around in the App Store and find some things to help you get into it if you're interested. Really simple,
That's another thing. Like we mentioned, everyone's got their own different ways of investigating, and some people do use Ouija boards, and some others disagree with it or just don't want to use it. And we have members on our team, including myself, that are a little more to not using them. I've used one before, but
personally, I love Ouija boards, although most of my experiences have been really underwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
Where, somebody got caught messing with it on purpose, or it's just absolute dead silence. But those times that it does go dead silence, the people you use it with, do it with them again. Because if they didn't mess with that one time, then hopefully they won't mess with it ever.
Yep. So Steve said, I bet you there's things haunted in Dunkirk. Have you tried to look? Yes, we have. We're actually scheduling the Dunkirk Lighthouse very soon, so we'll be headed to the Dunkirk Lighthouse in Dunkirk pretty soon, within the next couple months. So that is being scheduled right now.
Next month.
Yep, next month. Did we get that confirmed?
I'm not sure. I got to check the email, but I did send it back with the date that we were interested in.
Awesome. So we are looking forward to heading there. How about Dunkirk? Yeah, that's what we just talked about, Dunkirk Lighthouse. Other than that, I'm sure there's quite a few things that are haunted there. But other than that, I don't think there's anything else that to my knowledge, that I can come out on here and say right now that I know is haunted in Dunkirk, or is claimed to be haunted. But I'm sure, yeah, there's a lot of big factories and old buildings there in Dunkirk. I'm sure there's quite a bit of stuff that's haunted. And I'd be interested in looking and finding some more locations out that way. It's close, and like I said, I'm sure there's a lot of haunted things in Dunkirk.
I'm sure there is. It's just a matter of what we can get into.
Mm-hmm. To be honest, I think there's more places than people think there is that are haunted around. I think anywhere you go, there's just tons of haunted places, and no one really takes time to learn knowledge about it, or you just don't know that it's haunted. But I think there's a lot more places than people think out there.
I have an idea just popped in my head. So I was going to say that, people,
That's okay.
We've been around for a long time. We've been dying for a long time. What are your thoughts about the fact that, most hauntings always seem like they're from a certain specific century? When do we start getting hippies or World War II vets and stuff like that? It kind of seems like the majority of hauntings are specters of people from the 1800s or something like that. Why don't we ever see cavemen or anything like that?
Yeah, I think that's a good question. I think it's the matter of the places you go and the locations that we investigate, and the locations that we go into. I think that if you went into at certain locations where what things happened, when they happened, and things like that. So and a lot of places we've investigated were places that could either have been shot down, like the haunting things could be debunked, or it's something that has an attachment to that building or that location, and that's what we've been getting a lot of. And like I said, there's a majority, like there's things there's hauntings like all different types and all different like things that could be haunting something or the backstory behind it, or why they're there.
I think it comes down to sometimes it's just the only history we know is back to the 1800s. So who knows what we're actually hearing sometimes. But
Right.
I think that's just where we think that it is because that's the history that we have for the place. So that's kind of what we correlate together.
Right. It makes it easier when we do our research because we can only do so much, and then we can only find what is online and what historians have, and then from there, I think another thing that would really help is what helps is the clients when they have knowledge of the place too, their owners or their managers, whatever it may be. When they have knowledge of the place that we're going into, really helps out as well. More knowledge they know, more it helps us out as well.
So now I'm wondering about something else. So humans, like in our regular life, we have a life expectancy. Maybe hauntings or ghosts or specters outside of a certain time frame. What if there is something like an afterlife expectancy? Dibs. I'm copywriting that.
So what are you saying? Like they can only be like in ghost form, or they can only be there for so long before they pass over?
Haunting have a shelf life, like does that, let's say that these hauntings are caused by residual energy. Does that energy dissipate or, like have some kind of dissonance where it just like is no longer palpable to experience to us? If there is a end term to that period, is there a term that is required for it to start? 18 years old, you're an adult. Does it take time for it to manifest itself? Like, does it take like 20 years before it can actually start haunting or something like that?
Right. So like energy, like they gain more and more energy as they age over the afterlife. Hey, Alex, I can't hear you. Try that again. What'd you say?
Like maybe it takes time for them to gain coordination of the residual energy, but then there is a certain like time period where eventually and they're no longer haunting an area. Maybe that's why we don't see people from like 1,000 years ago or something like that,
Right. I think that could be possible. Like I do see where you're coming from with that. Never really thought of it that way. Another thing you were going off of there too was what if they're only there for so long? I think they're different. I think some are there to stay there. I think some are there to communicate with someone or pass something on to somebody. Some are there because there's something there in the home or the location that they want done before they can pass over all the way. That happened at a house in Forestville. And they wanted a pair of pants that were, I think, in the wall, taken down in the back to the creek, and they wanted it buried like 3 or 4 feet under by the creek. And that happened, and the activity completely died down there. But I mean, it was so crazy there. So many tenants moved out. It actually was bought and like closed down for the crazy activity that was there. They've had priests come in, or they've had people come in and like, do tons of different things and try to get it out. And all it did was raise the activity and spike the activity more and more to the point where it was harming people. I forgot who it was that went in. It was a TV show. And they went in and they pretty much figured out what it was, brought the pants down, got them buried, and activity completely died. And it is still owned by the same person who bought that place back when it was too dangerous to live in. So it's still owned by them. There's tons of different posted signs on it and stuff. So I think there's hauntings that way as well, that they want something done to the home, or they, and I think too, you could have no activity and you go into a place that hasn't been renovated in 100, 200, 300 years and you renovate it. That I think could spike activity too. Yeah. And kind of pick something up. So there's different ways that I think hauntings can come along and happen. So I definitely think, if something is taken care of correctly or something's done, that haunting could die off, or they could finally pass through, or feel comfortable passing through, or, you know. So. Steve says, I believe that Dunkirk is a part of the Underground Railroad, so the coal miners in World War I and vets are here. Very well could be. That is very possible. Ghost Hunters did Forceville. It wasn't Ghost Hunters. I've looked it up and researched it. It was a different TV show. What'd you say, Ma? Haunted Collector. Yes, that's the one. It was the Haunted Collector. I can't remember which season, which episode. But yes, it was the Haunted Collector. Thanks. I forgot which one it was. There's so many paranormal shows out there, which is good. I'm very glad. Another thing I wanted to mention tonight, and we'll jump right into that then. Actually, speaking of different paranormal shows and all of that, there is a strike with, I think, producers and stuff like TV, people who make the TV shows. And people are worried that it's going to affect paranormal shows and all that. I was able to look into it a little bit. Zach with Ghost Adventures is coming out another season at the end of this month, the 31st or something, the 30th or whatever. They have a new season coming out of Ghost Adventures. And he even spoke on it, Zach did, and he said that they are not affected. No paranormal team or show should be affected by the strike, because it's more reality, and it's writers, not producers. Sorry, it's TV writers. The ones who write the scripts and stuff went on strike. Not sure for what. So the thing is, though, that paranormal shows are reality, and they write their own stuff. You know, they have their producers. They have, I think what they call them as ghost writers. So there are different type of writers, different types of that's write the paranormal shows and help produce the paranormal shows. So don't be worried about that. Don't be alarmed. With the writer's strike, is not going to affect any of the paranormal shows that you see on TV. If they're planning for new seasons will come out whether they're on strike or not. That won't affect that. But yeah, so I wanted to mention that. And so yeah, like there's a lot of paranormal shows out there, which is good. I enjoy that there's a lot of them, and it's not dying off. 'Cause it started to die off for a little bit, and there wasn't many on there, and it was just paranormal started to die off. Now it's starting to raise again, like it did back when Ghost Hunters first came out, and they really started the big paranormal shows and doing all that, which sparked other shows and other things. And then Ghost Hunters got canceled, or they died off, whatever, and then others started dying off, and it went just kind of like flat for a while. It wasn't really much. The only one that was really going was Ghost Adventures. And then
it's kind of nice that there's a variety, because you get to see so many different ways things are being done. Everybody has their own ways, their own things that they do. So it's kind of nice because you can do a little, learn a little new things from each one.
It is, and it's cool. Like even though like there's so many and everyone does it differently, which is so cool. That we're able to pick up different things and from different teams and different things that we like, and kind of pick it out to build our own foundation and our own team. So Steve said try Bailey's Manufacturing, call them, they might. I have reached out to them before, or tried to reach out to them. I don't think I got an answer, but it's definitely on somewhere. That definitely, there's been plenty of claims there, which is also in Forceville for anyone who don't know. But yeah, so like Ma said, there's tons of different shows. They all do it differently. You'll be able to pick up different things from other teams and see things that we like from every team. And that's what's so cool about it, is no one does it the same. Everyone can do it differently, and it's not wrong. Everyone's got their own way of doing it. Got anything to add to that? Anybody?
I just wanted to double check. What were you saying? So about the writers' strike, you mentioned ghost writers.
Yeah, so I guess there's a thing that like paranormal shows kind of have their like own writers that are referred to as ghost writers, and they are the ones they specialize in differently than obviously people writing up fake scripts for TV shows. They specialize in writing reality and writing about the paranormal. You have to have knowledge, I'm sure, to be able to write stuff like that. So there's different people that specialize in the paranormal part and are called ghost writers.
Well, I just wanted to clear up one thing about that. I think what was meant was that they're hiring independent contractor ghostwriters. So ghostwriters is people who will write content and then sell the rights to that content. Like, I ghostwrite a blog post for you and I sell it to you. So they're probably saying that they're not using the network's writers.
Well, no, because here's the thing about that, because they have their producers and stuff, right? And they create their own shows. They don't have people who create they don't buy like scripted shows or anything from people. These guys come up with their own shows and build their own shows. There's writers that help them kind of write different things for the shows, but I think it's kind of ghostwriters are probably hired by the paranormal shows, so that's their own writers, right? They're their own writers. So it's
it's an independent freelancer gig, but they're probably just using out of network people, and that's what they mean by it. But either way, in that line, you still have to be specialized on the topic you're discussing. So they're probably more literally like ghost writers.
Right, and the thing is, and this is just my opinion. I don't know who or what ghostwriters are. This is just my thought or idea on it. So anyone who's in the comments or anything that know more about that, feel free to drop that or let us know.
Well, ghostwriter doesn't mean anything about paranormal ghosts. It's somebody who writes something for somebody else.
So they write for the paranormal shows, but they don't.
Well, they can work for anybody. Let's say you work for McDonald's corporate and you need headline or something like that. Well, I guess that would be technically a copywriter. But if you a ghostwriter helps write stuff for people and they sell their work. Right. So let's say the statement, "I want to be king." I wrote that as a ghostwriter, and then I sell it to you, and you tell everybody, "Hey, look, I came up with this line. I want to be king," because you bought the rights to that text from me. You bought that work. Pretend that's an entire book. It's a very short book, but So basically, it's just somebody who sells the rights, kind of, I think.
Yeah. So it says ghostwriter is a person whose job
they
is
create it, sell it to you, and you pass it off as yours. Basically, you get the credit for it.
Okay, so it does it. So any shows that do use writers, they use a different type of writers, I guess. The point is, they're not affected by it. They have their own group of writers. Not their own group, but a different
one's unaffected.
Different writers than the ones that the channels have. They use different writers. So anyone who uses other people's stuff isn't affected by that in the paranormal because they use different writers. It does say here a ghostwriter is a person whose job is to write material for someone else who is named the author. So they're writing it, and then, so like you guys said, okay. So so the idea is that they're not affected by paranormal teams are not affected by that. So either way, you don't gotta be worried about that. They have different writers that they go to write them that stuff, and they are not the ones that are on strike. Techniques and equipment. Sharing personal stories, experiences, applications. What? I was just reading some things that I have here. All right. Reminder, our Paracon is July 15th. We are looking for vendors. We are looking for psychics, mediums, paranormal stores, paranormal teams.
Did we ever
If-
get a confirmation on a food truck yet?
Not yet. Brandon's supposed to be talking to that one guy. But if you're into the paranormal in any way, you're a paranormal author or you've written paranormal books, please contact us. We're looking for anyone who is in the paranormal to join us at our Paracon. We are looking for different things to do. We're looking for psychics and mediums who can do like readings and things like that. We're looking for more teams to show some of their stuff, maybe sell some shirts and stuff like that. People who have paranormal stores kind of show off your store. It's a way to promote yourself and being able to kind of promote the Paracon and being able to get other people in there for other people to enjoy other things and see other people's things that they share and all that. So anyone who is in the paranormal or affiliated with them in any way, please contact us if you are interested in coming at the Gary Rodeo Grounds, Gary, New York, July 15th. So it's in a couple months. We're looking for some more people to join us.
It might not hurt to take a ride down to Lilydale one of these days and see if you can talk to some people in there. Maybe you can get a psychic or somebody on board with us.
We should. That would be cool. Honestly, Maf, on your next day off or something, if we want to take a ride down there and introduce ourselves and see if we can get anyone who would be interested in coming along to the Paracon, that'd be great. And if anyone who watches this knows anyone who's in Lilydale or knows psychics, mediums, let us know, let them know, and see if there's any interest.
There's a place right outside of Lilydale too, and I'm not sure what it's called, but it's been empty for some time, and I heard there was quite a bit of activity there, so that might be worth checking out too to see if we can get in there.
Yeah, that would be cool.
But we'd have to drive by and get the name of it because I don't remember.
Yeah. So don't forget to bring your business cards and flyers to the store, in that store that Doug knows. That's right. Yes. So he knows someone who runs like a store with paranormal stuff in it. And he said that he would take some flyers and some business cards. And he may be interested in coming. Also, Doug said there's another store out there, another paranormal store in Dunkirk area that's been there for quite a while. And we're gonna check them out too. I think I'm going there this weekend. I'm not quite sure. But if I do, I will drop off some business cards and some flyers and stuff and get some stuff on that side of town because we don't really have any flyers or any promoting any stuff on that side of town, or on that side of the county. It's all been Jamestown, Lakeville area. What'd you say?
Remember what
Yes. Yep. Yeah, that's why I said if I do go, I have to be home real early Sunday. But as people come in, go ahead and drop a hello, ask your questions. We got answers till 9 o'clock tonight. Doing a little Q&A with Caps. Tonight we have myself, Caleb, founder, lead investigator. We have Alex, co-tech manager, and Heather, who's our case manager. So if you have any questions pertaining to anybody personally or to the team overall.
And we are looking for some people to join as camera crew on our team.
Yes.
Right, too. So if anybody's interested in that, give us a shout out.
That's a big thing too. Yes, we're looking for some people to hop on the film crew for our team. So if there's any interest there, reach out to us. Another project that I am working on personally is I have a documentary that I am doing with Jen. She's another member from a separate team. If anyone doesn't know her who's watching, Jen is part of Jamestown Paranormal Investigators, JPI. Me and her together are starting a documentary on Holland Road in Angola, New York, better known as Pigman Road. There's been tons of different things about that. So we're really excited. I'm not going to share anything on here, of course. You'll have to watch the documentary when we get it out. I So we are doing some work on that. I have quite a bit of projects that are going to be announced and when they come available personally. And of course, overall as a team, we got the big Paracon coming up July 15th. A couple investigations coming up, Dunkirk Lighthouse, supposed to be the Bergen House. So if you don't yet, like us on Facebook to keep up with us. We're very active and do quite a bit of things, so. Oh, yawning.
Me too.
Let's see. Thinking a couple more topics to talk about tonight. Not to my people in for the live show. I know there's a couple people that do watch the replay who aren't able to make it on Wednesday nights, but they do watch the replays and they do comment. I do answer their questions when I am available to. But not too many on live tonight.
Also, we also take suggestions if anybody has any ideas of places to check out that they've heard there's activity, whether outside, inside. You can send us those too, so we can look into them.
Yes, as well. We don't just, you can email us or call us for anything you don't think we just take calls for investigations or anything like that. If you have just questions, if you have tips or anything, or you want some tips or something to kind of help out with what you have going on, feel free. Don't hesitate to reach out. We're always here to help people with all your needs fit the paranormal. So if you have any questions, we could sit down and go over things or run through paperwork or anything that anyone needs done. We're on it. So don't think that we're just here to investigate your property. Sometimes you just got a question or something like that. Don't hesitate to reach out to us. Call us, email us, text us. There's something else I was going to mention too, and I forgot what it was. Go ahead, drop your last couple questions. We're rolling in on about 45 minutes here. Doug just sent me 20 most haunted places in New York State for spooky season. Thank you. So I'll check that out as well. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Speaking of that, you were saying about tips and stuff like that. Yes. Also, I have to talk to you, Ma, as soon as I get off of here. Somebody responded to one of my Facebook posts and said they had a tip for us, and kind of like a suggestion for our Paracon. And I thought it was a pretty cool idea. And so I'll talk to you after we get off here about that.
Okay, sounds good.
Also, guys, so Heather's not only just our case manager, she's also our co-team lead. Yeah. All right. Well, also another thing I will probably be starting Sundays, I believe. So don't quote me on it right now. We are going to do another podcast. It's going to be with just me, and then I'm going to have a guest on. So it'll be a different guest every week. So it'll be just me and that guest. It'll be on the same podcast on the CAPS page. And it'll be, like I said, different guest every week. So if you're in the paranormal and you'd be interested in coming on and talking a little bit about what you got going on and talk a little bit with me, then that would be great. Shoot me a message. I'm planning on getting that set up for Saturdays. So don't hesitate to reach out with any interest on that as well. Should be Saturdays. The only reason I'm a little hesitant about Saturdays is that's when we do a lot of our investigations. So if I do Saturdays, I gotta make sure it's early enough in the day, and that I'm not gonna be, because a lot of times on investigation days, I'm running around busy all day long. So I gotta see if I will be able to squeeze that in somewhere if we do have an investigation, or if I have to cancel every time we have an investigation, which I don't want to do that because we're getting to our busy season and gonna start getting very busy. I'll be canceling like every other week to every week. So trying to set up Saturday seems to be the best day. Like I said, I have a lot of projects going on personally right now too in the paranormal. So trying to be able to squeeze that extra podcast in, it's gonna be a little tough, but I'm hoping for Saturdays. If anything changes, of course I'll let you know. And I'll let everyone know, but hoping for Saturdays. Another question, I don't think I got to ask you. I think you were running a little late, so I'll ask you: is there any places in America that is like on your bucket list that you want to investigate, or somewhere that you would want to go before you call it quits?
I'm not sure. Not like one place in particular, I don't think.
Mm-hmm. Nothing on your bucket list or anything anywhere?
Not really. I haven't really looked into too many places. I know I would like to get into a penitentiary or something like that eventually, but not one specifically that comes to mind.
Also, I'll talk about the reformatory or penitentiary after I get off of here with you as well. Something Mike and myself have spoke about.
So on that, Paige is actually sitting in the room with me, and she overheard that. And she says a place called Goatman Road.
Goatman Road, Goatman Bridge. I've heard of that, actually.
She says it has like a giant Ouija board, and people go there for like claimed devil worship.
Goatman Road or Goatman Bridge. Is that two different places, or is it the same place?
Same place.
Same place? I'm writing that down right now to look into.
She says it looks like it's in Texas.
Okay.
Old Alton Bridge. Is that Alton?
All right, just wrote that down. So. Well, let's see. Looks like we have a comment here. Good night. Show you when I should go to the Amityville bucket list. Yes, it's a place I've heard of that I'd be interested in going to. Have a good night. We're gonna be popping off soon anyway, so. I put a bunch of notes on my computer, so when I open it up, I have tons of notes to look at that I need to look into. So I added Goatman Road, Goatman Bridge there, so and that as well. We may cut it 10 minutes early, just 'cause we don't got anyone really in here. I talked about pretty much everything we want to talk about tonight. there's anything else you guys got to add, go ahead and add it. Anyone still in the comments, go ahead and ask your last couple questions if you got any. I think I covered everything that I want to cover. If you guys have anything to add or anything you want to talk about real quick, feel free.
I got an idea for a question.
Yeah.
So you said you had a couple things like on the line for investigating in the nearby future. Which one are you?
Oh, what'd you say? So I lost you on the last part.
Out of all the places that you know 90% chance that you will be going to in the nearby future, which location are you most interested in?
You know, I was interested that I can guarantee you that we'll go to eventually in the near future would be the Hinsdale house. But I heard some stuff about that place. Obviously, we make our own experience and see what happens. That maybe it's overhyped and that some people have gone there multiple times and haven't had experiences. So.
Well, I mean, I think that comes down to the fact that nothing works on command. I mean, if you're going there expecting to get the same thing somebody else did, it's not going to happen.
Right. No, yeah, and I mean, it's just been like, there's been a couple of different people and teams that I've spoke to too, and they're like, it's real quiet there. There ain't like nothing there, and for the money and stuff. But I'm definitely excited to go to that one for sure.
Well, that's like when we went to the Eagle House. There was a lot of stuff in that book that people got there.
Eagle
but for
Hotel.
us, it was quiet. Yeah. There was really nothing there.
The Eagle Hotel and Judson House.
Yeah, and the Judson House we got activity, but the Eagle Hotel we really didn't get. It was real quiet for us. But if you read the book that they had there, people had activity there. It just didn't happen for us.
Right. Yeah, we didn't get much. It was pretty quiet there. It's true. It's like, you know, you're not going to get the same experience everyone else does. You're not going to get things every time. It's not like, oh, hey, guys, time to work. We got people coming in tonight. I mean, they don't work like that. They're just, you know, so.
Right. And I'm not saying that's what people are doing, but sometimes if you go to a place and it's quiet, maybe you've gone there twice and you didn't get anything. Some people are just like, yeah, there's nothing there because you didn't get anything, but somebody else got a ton of activities. Right. That doesn't necessarily mean there's nothing there. It's just you didn't witness it.
Yeah, I know. They're just saying, you know, it was been pretty quiet for them. Of course, he was, you know, go make your own experience with it and stuff too. You know, just saying that does get that they've had quiet experiences there personally. But yeah, we'll go there. We're gonna experience it. We'll have fun with that. But that's probably one of my favorite. Another favorite would be the Dunkirk Lighthouse. I've always kind of wanted to get in there, and I'm excited to get in there. So that's good.
Yeah, I'm excited for the Dunkirk Lighthouse for sure.
Yeah, I've always kind of wanted to get into a lighthouse. It's the same thing with like a reformatory and stuff. So being able to get the Dunkirk Lighthouse.
Confirmation on who's coming on that, by the way?
We don't have full confirmation, but I want 4 investigators and 1 cameraman if we can. If not, what? What'd you say?
But what is the date for the Dunkirk?
What's the date there?
June 10th, I believe. It's that Saturday.
Yeah, June 10th. It's a Saturday.
We're still waiting on confirmation from them.
Okay. I would like to go. Looked up that place myself, and it seems pretty interesting. I'd like to be able to walk the grounds, if possible. I mean, I don't know how much free reign we'll have, but I would love to go inside the lighthouse, like paranormal or not. I love lighthouses. But yeah, no, that place definitely has as far as paranormal activity goes, has like a good track record and good history to support it.
Yeah. So that'd be exciting. But if there's not much more, if you have another question, go ahead and ask it. Other than that, we're going to probably get ready to wrap some things up. I'll announce it again. Paracon, Saturday, July 15th, Gary Rodeo Grounds. If you're anyone who's in the paranormal and you would love to attend, reach out to me. $20 a table. It's going for a good cause at the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. All kids under age 10 are in for free. We'll have a guest speaker. getting a food truck. Tickets are $8 at the door. Getting Gary Rodeo Grounds, so please attend. Cheap tickets, again, it's going for a good cause. There's gonna be tons of different things there to do, different teams, all of that, different vendors and stuff that you should get to buy stuff from. Hopefully we'll have a couple of different vendors there. So yeah, if any of you guys own like little like vendors or anything like that, doesn't have to be paranormal, go ahead and reach out, and we'll hopefully get you on that as well. There'll be a small fee for vendors as well, just for the spot and the location. But everything obviously you make is obviously yours. You know, we're not stealing anybody's money or anything. Yeah, so go ahead and reach out with that as well. But other than that, I think we're gonna wrap it up here. We're about 55 minutes. So thanks for joining in, guys, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Oh,